Moving on to the VS Code hint, tips, and trick of the week. I don't know why I jumped in here. I don't use VS Code, but basically the one for the week is the SSH preview, the Visual Studio Code remote module. Did I get that right?
Yeah, so this one here is something that that a lot of people are not using as well as they probably should. So the cool thing about VS Code is they actually allow you to do some remote code editing, and sometimes you want to spin up an environment, you're working on a certain project, but you don't want to have to install all those tools locally or all the extensions or any of that stuff. You can actually hook up VS Code remote to SSH into a box. So Amazon has all these cool like remote developer boxes. You could actually spin up a DigitalOcean box essentially that's the right, like this is a production environment that I'm going to deploy to. You can actually spin up a cloud instance and basically put the code on there and then SSH in using VS Code and treat that like your developer box. So it's really cool that using SSH you can connect and it's like you're on the same machine. All the stuff is there. The cool thing is that, you can get a larger, faster machine, and you basically treat your VS Code in your machine as like a client, like a thin client to a thicker server. The cool thing is that way you can access it from wherever you need to. And a lot of people are doing those AWS workstation type images now. A couple of clients, they would do that essentially. That you give you a laptop, and then all the laptop does is allows you to connect to another machine elsewhere. So it allows you to debug applications running on a remote site. No source codes on your machine or whatever else. So for security reasons, some of those companies they don't want it on your machine, so this allows them to keep that directly separated as well. It's cool though because it works. Just the VS Code works like it's on your machine, like the code is there and everything's there. So it's a really cool little tool. And again, it's great for debugging too. If you ever need to why is my staging server not behaving the way I want to? Obviously you could, SSH in and do some work there, but usually refrain from that as much as possible. But just as a developer, there's a lot of cool options with it. So Visual Studio Code, remote SSH, and it is a preview, but it's by Microsoft. And they even have another one, which is SSH editing configuration files function. So I think that allows you to SSH in or change configuration files that you need to SSH into, but they do go together. And it's a pretty cool little extension. So there you go.
Sweet.
VS Code, hint, tip, and trick of the week for you. Remote SSH with VS Code. That was our VS Code, hint, tip, and trick of the week. Brought to you by Modernize or Die podcast, CFML News Edition, proudly sponsored by Order Solutions. You can see the new episodes every week on cfmlnews.modernizeordie.io or on the Order Solutions YouTube channel.